Hi, I'm Sheila Kamara Hay of Ecstatic Birth, and I'm here today to talk about what are some pleasure tools and tips you can use to train your body for childbirth. So for those of you that don't know me, my business is Ecstatic Birth, and I train birth practitioners to support their clients with pleasure, and I also work with a small group of expectant mamas at any given time to help them train for pleasure in childbirth, to help women have an enjoyable, transformative, and pleasurable birth experience. So last week in Facebook Live, I'm here every Thursday at 12:30, I talked about connecting to your body and connecting to the sensations of your body. So if you haven't seen that, I suggest you go look at that as it's a precursor for this. Today we're going to be talking about some pleasure tools and tips to help you train your body. And what these pleasure tools and tips are they're doing for you is helping you amplify the sensations in your body. So just like a brief recap, we talked about how sensations are your body's language. That's how your body speaks to you. And sensations are what can guide you through the journey of childbirth. And the more you learn to connect to sensation and move towards pleasure, that is how you are listening to your own inner wisdom, your body's primal wisdom, and your own experiential wisdom. So for today, I thought it would be fun to share 3 tips, 3 tools that you can use that are actually tools that you might have heard of in relation to birth before, but not in the way that I'm going to be talking about them. So we're going to be talking about breath, we're going to be talking about sounding, and we're going to be talking about movement. And we're going to be talking about all 3 of these in the context of amplifying pleasure in your body and having that be what supports you through the flow of your labor and delivery. So the first one, breath, we've all seen the movies, we've heard about that like breathing that was taught or might still be taught in some childbirth education classes. There's a reason that breath is such a powerful tool in birth. And the reason for that is when you are breathing, you are supporting the flow in your body. You're supporting blood flow, you're supporting energy flow. And as long as you're supporting flow in your body, you're also supporting the flow of your labor. Whereas when you're in stress or in fear, what you actually are doing is you're constricting. You're constricting physically, you're constricting energetically, and usually your breath is very shallow in those circumstances. So breath is a really, really powerful tool for supporting flow. And one really simple way to practice that is every day when you notice you feel stressed, take some breaths. Right? Just notice the sensations in your body, notice how you're breathing, and then very consciously take some breaths to fill your entire body and to support your flow. And, the more you do that, the more you'll start to notice your own patterns of when and where you hold your breath under what circumstances. And then you can consciously bring flow back into the circumstance rather than constriction. So that's the first thing. And I want to talk a little bit also about breath as a tool for releasing trauma. So one of the biggest things that is a hindrance, makes it really difficult for women to experience pleasure in birth is if they've experienced any kind of sexual trauma in their past. And so breath work specifically is a way to release trauma from the body and allow you to flow through your birth more easily. So when I'm talking about a woman having experienced trauma, what happens is your body has memory and your body kind of holds on to those memories. Everything that you've experienced your entire life, it's a memory in your body. And all of that affects how you run your energy in your body. And so when you have trauma, a lot of times, especially if it's unaddressed trauma, unhealed trauma, your body will be kind of holding energy to keep all of those memories in place and suppress them if need be for your own survival. Hi, Patricia from San Jose. So fun to see you here. Thank you for joining me. So we're talking right now about breath as a tool for releasing trauma prior to birth. So one of the women, one of my colleagues who I love working with, her name is Anne Margolis, and she's actually a breathwork practitioner. And actually, last week we did a class together on tips and tools for loving your birth, which you can still view if you're interested. Just scroll down on my Facebook page and you'll see the link to watch the replay. Or actually, I wonder if I can put it in here now. I bet I can. Hold on. All right. I will put it in after because I don't want to make you all wait while I look up that link, but it's definitely right here on the Ecstatic Birth Facebook page, and it was called Love Your Birth Masterclass. So breath work as a tool for releasing trauma prior to birth. That's really, really big. If you've ever experienced any kind of trauma in your sexual body and that you feel like that might still be lingering and is unresolved, unaddressed in some way, I would definitely have you look into breath work as a tool. So that's breath. Again, just really simple practice for any of you out there, whether you are a birth practitioner or an expectant mom or just a woman interested in this topic. Use your breath consciously when you're feeling stressed. Use your breath consciously, connect to when you find yourself in those moments of stress, which are moments of constriction in your body. Tap in, feel the sensations, and then very consciously use your breath as a massage, taking like nice, long, slow, deep breath. Feel it move through your body like an internal massage, and then with your exhale, putting down your bags, releasing anything that you're carrying with you. So that is breath. And I do want to say, at any point, if you have any questions, comments, you want to put them in the comments below, I'm happy to address any questions. And I love to know who's out there. So that would be great. Another point I wanted to make is if you are a birth practitioner, these tools that I share, both in these Facebook Lives, on my website, which is ecstatic-birth.com, on my YouTube channel, I want you to really start to consider these for yourself, first and foremost. Now, you're not just collecting things to support your clients with, but I want you to first and foremost consider these as tools for yourself so that you can support yourself, you can embody these tools, and then you can share them in a much more effective way. Because really these tools help all of us flow through life as well as our expectant mamas flow through birth. And this is a lot of what I do in my practitioner training, is have my practitioners really start to embody these tools of pleasure into their own bodies so that it nurtures you, so that you're not feeling drained all the time by the work that you do, and you can source from it, and then you can bring that tone for pleasure into the birthing room. All right, so let's move along to our next tool, which is sound. Sound is something that everyone expects a birthing woman to make, right? Everyone expects a birthing woman to be moaning or screaming or making some kind of sound. So sound is a really sneaky and super effective way of tapping into your sensual and sexual energy for birth to support you in your flow of birth in a way that doesn't feel like overtly sexual or uncomfortable. Because again, everyone expects a birthing woman to make sound. So what I would suggest is make your sound consciously in a way that there are so many tools for sounding to help you expand your energy, expand the pleasure in your body. One of the things I love to do is run sensual expansion study groups for both the mamas I work with and the birth practitioners I work with. And this is also something that's embedded into my practitioner training and all the private sessions that I do, is how do you use these tools of sensual expansion consciously for birth. So one super easy way to do that is just practice moaning, but not just moaning, like practice moaning to like access your pleasure. See if you can feel your womb, feel your vulva, feel your clitoris when you're moaning. Like really practice that, practice different tones of moaning and see if you can get yourself to that like turned on, yummy place. And when you can find the sounds that do that for you, keep on practicing them and amplifying. You're training your body to open the flow of sensual energy through this sounding. And then you can bring that sounding into the birthing room. As a practitioner, you can have your clients sound with you and moan with you, and you can direct them to that yummy, juicy, turned on place. Or if you're an expectant mama, you know how to get there yourself. You can make those sounds and you can tap into the flow of your sensual energy without feeling like you're being, overtly sexual or weird in front of doctors, midwives, whoever you're birthing with. I talked about in an earlier Facebook Live why pleasure is the most holistic birthing tool. I recommend you check that out. I write about it all the time on my blog. But in a nutshell, experiencing sensual and sexual pleasure triggers oxytocin flow in your body, which is actually the governing hormone of labor and delivery. It is what pharmaceutical companies are trying to replicate with Pitocin. So you have that available to you naturally in your own body in a way that feels really, really good. So I'd encourage you to start using it and start playing with it. The third tool I wanted to share today is movement. Dancing for birth. There's a phenomenal movement, I think, started by a woman named Stephanie Larson, where she actually teaches dancing for birth, childbirth preparation classes. Dancing is such a powerful tool for birth. There's also belly dance for birth by a woman named Mahal Musa. Hope I pronounced that correctly, but I'll put the links for all of that below. And maybe some of you have actually seen the video that's been passing around on Facebook of a OBGYN kind of dancing in the hallways with one of his birthing clients. Movement is such a powerful tool for birth, and it's so much fun. So if that's something that you enjoy, dive into it, go for it. Again, the reason movement is such a phenomenal tool is it encourages flow. Think about it. When you're fearful, you're constricted, you're tight, you're not moving, you're blocking flow. Any kind of movement is allowing flow. Dancing is encouraging that flow in your body, which supports the flow of your labor and delivery. So that's another phenomenal tool. I am actually co-hosting a masterclass next week with Deborah Pascali-Bonaro of Orgasmic Birth. She's one of my favorite people to collaborate with because she is one of the leading pioneers in the field of pleasure and birth. And so we're going to be sharing some more of our pleasure tips for birth practitioners and for expectant mamas. So I will also put the link. I have a lot of links to post. I will also put the link for that in the comments here so you can check that out if you're interested. And lastly, if you are fierce about this idea of using pleasure in birth, as you should be, because it's so much more fun than, any other modality, and it's so much more effective. If you're truly fierce about your sensual expansion, I would recommend you start your own sensual expansion journey. And what I mean by that is the journey of learning to feel pleasure in your body, feel more pleasure in your body, expand that pleasure in your body. I'm actually an affiliate for Layla Martin. Her O Bliss course is launching, I believe, either this week or next week. And that is such a phenomenal course because you have really simple, easy, accessible tools to help you in your sensual expansion journey. It will help you feel more pleasure in your body. And I run a study group for my clients who are interested in this. So anyone that signs up for Layla Martin's course through me will actually be invited into the study group. And that is another link that I will put in the comments. So I feel like I've done enough rambling. I see a bunch of people are here. If you want to say hello, I would love that. And if you have any questions or comments or anything that you'd like me to address either today, or if you're watching the recording of this later, if there's anything you would like me to address in a future Facebook Live, go ahead and put that in there. And what I will do is I'll stay live for a few more minutes here to see if there are any comments, and I'll start putting in those links that I talked about. So, all right, Layla Martin's O Bliss course. This is the link for that. And that is that coming through? Perfect. Okay. So that is if you really want to learn how to expand pleasure in your body and the sensation of pleasure in your body. I highly recommend this course. I've put myself through it as a student. And as I said, I run sensual expansion study groups around it. So if you would like to have that community of support, you can check out the course and then just let me know if you sign up so I can put you into my study group. Masterclass with Deborah Pascali-Bonaro next week. Here is the link to sign up for that. And here you go. So if that's something you would like to join me with, that's completely free. And you'll learn more about pleasure tools for birth in that class. What else did I tell you about? Oh, here's the fun video I was telling you about. The OBGYN dancing with his client. I think everybody needs to see that to know what is possible in birth. And last but not least, here is the masterclass I did with midwife Ann Margolis last week. Here we go. So a lot of resources here for you. Both master classes are completely free. If you want more info, definitely check those out. If you're like, you know what, I'm all in, Sheila, I want to learn how to expand pleasure in my body, I definitely recommend Layla Martin's Bliss course. There's another sexual educator who I love. Her name is Saida Desolé, and she has a course coming up in just a few weeks that I also run a study group through. So those are some options for you. Let's see what else I can share for you. I think that's it. Yeah, so if there aren't any questions or comments today, I just want to thank you for being here and for opening your heart and mind to the possibility that childbirth can be pleasurable. I think the time has come. It's really, enough is enough. I mean, if you're a birth practitioner, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, we're all tired of seeing women walk out of the birthing room victimized, disempowered. That's not a way to begin your journey as a mother. I really want to see women standing up tall and connected to that fierce feminine wisdom that birth can really activate in a woman. And really that can happen whether you are having a natural birth or you have an emergency C-section. A lot of it is mindset. A lot of it is how you prepare for birth. A lot of it is how you flow through birth. This is what I'm good at. This is what I'm good at supporting women with. This is what I'm great at training practitioners for. So again, if you want to learn more about me and my work, I am here on Facebook every Thursday at 12:30, or you can check out my website, which is ecstatic-birth.com. I'll put that in the comments too. All right, and happy Thursday to you all. Lots of love. Thank you for being here and watching. Until next week. Bye.